Just to be whoever you are is no disgrace. Don't be scared if you don't fit in. Look who's in the reject bin. It's the Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Dolls like you and me. Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Made him perfectly. So if you got a bump on your nose or lumps on your toes, do not despair. Be like the Raggy Dolls and say I just don't care. 'Cause Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls
Raggy
are
Dolls.
happy just to be Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls, dolls like you and me. It was a dull and drizzly morning. Claude looked out of the window. "I'm sorry to say it," he said, "but outside it is falling with water."
"Oh dear," said Sadsack. "That means I can't go out. I get all soggy when it's raining."
"Well, then we'll all have to stay in," said Dotty. "But what's there to do if we all stay in?" Lucy wondered. "I know what I'm going to do," said Hi-Fi mysteriously, and off he went. "What about the rest of us?" said Claude. "Surely we can entertain ourselves," said Dotty. "I know," said Backtofront. "Let's stage a show." "What a splendid idea," said Princess.
"What kind of a show?" asked Sadsack, frowning.
"Conjuring," announced Backtofront. "You know, abracadabra, hey presto. No problem, it'll be magic." Off he went to get ready, and the dolls sat down to wait. At last, he made his entrance, wearing a top hat and carrying a vase of flowers.
"Ladies and gentlemen," he began, "for my first illusion, this beautiful vase of flowers will disappear."
He covered the flowers with a silk cloth.
"Abracadabra," he shouted. "Hey presto!"
And he pulled away the cloth. But the flowers did not disappear.
"Oh well," said Backtofront. "For my next trick, I shall use an ordinary pack of playing cards."
But this trick went wrong too. The dolls were not impressed.
"Ladies and gentlemen, for my last illusion, a jug of water, a top hat, and a newspaper."
He took the water and poured it into the hat. Then, covering the hat with the newspaper, he put it on his head.
"I shall now remove the newspaper and stay perfectly dry."
But the water poured all over him. The dolls laughed and clapped.
Oh, look at him.
Backtofront was wet through, but he didn't mind. "No problem," he grinned. Sadsack was looking out of the window.
"It's stopped raining," he said. "I suppose we can go out now."
But at that moment, Hi-Fi returned, carrying a strange object. "Whatever is it?" asked Lucy. "It looks like a vacuum cleaner," said Dotty, "with earphones." Don't be silly," said Hi-Fi. "It's a metal detector." "Oh, what does it do?" asked Princess. "It detects metal, dear," said Dotty. "Sounds boring," said Claude. "It's not," said Hi-Fi. "It could find treasure." "Oh, wonderful," said Lucy. "A treasure hunt." The dolls wasted no time. They were soon in the big field, searching. "So something's buried here," said Hi-Fi. Backtofront began digging, and just under the surface, he found a rusty old spoon.
"I wouldn't call that treasure,"
thought Sadsack. Hi-Fi tried again. "I'm getting a loud signal. Try digging here," said Hi-Fi. Backtofront began digging, and digging, and digging, and digging.
Whatever it is, it's a long way down,
he called. But at last he struck something. It was an old tin chest. "Ooh, buried treasure," cried Lucy. "I'm all of a dither." "Well, come on, open it," said Dotty. Backtofront lifted the lid, but inside there was no treasure, just a dusty old book. He picked it up and blew off the dust. "Ye Olde Book of Magic Spells," said the title. "Wow, real magic," thought Backtofront as he opened it. But before he could read a word, there was a flash, and a wizard appeared. The dolls could not believe their eyes.
"I am the White Wizard,"
said the shape.
"The power of my magic is yours to behold."
Backtofront laughed nervously. "You must be joking."
"The power of magic is no laughing matter."
"Crikey," whispered Lucy.
Could you, put my head back the right way round?" "Page 13,
said the wizard. Backtofront thumbed the pages. 1, 5, 9, 10, 13. Here it is, he said.
"Read it aloud,"
commanded the wizard. Backtofront cleared his throat.
"Corn is yellow, poppies are red, such a sight can turn your head."
And slowly his head began to turn and turn until it was spinning round and round like a top. And when it stopped, it was the right way round. "I can't believe it," he cried. "For the first time, I can see where I'm going instead of where I've been." "Fantastic," said Lucy. "It really suits you." Backtofront turned to thank the wizard, but the wizard had disappeared.
"I don't like the look of this,"
thought Sad Sack. Suddenly there was a clap of thunder. Clouds of red smoke started rising from the book. They formed the shape of a different wizard.
"I am the Red Wizard,"
he said.
"My magic is stronger than the White Wizard's. To prove it, I'll put a spell on him and destroy his power."
The dolls were scared. There was another clap of thunder. Backtofront looked at the others in amazement. All their heads were the wrong way round. "Ah, no!" exclaimed Claud. "What is happening?" The Red Wizard laughed, an evil laugh. The dolls couldn't see where they were going. They kept bumping into each other.
"I knew something like this would happen,"
thought Sad Sack. "Don't worry," called Backtofront. "I'll get the White Wizard back." But he didn't know how. "Abracadabra!" yelled Backtofront in desperation. "Hey, presto! Hey, anything!" Suddenly, to his great relief, a few tiny stars began to rise from the spellbook, just enough to make a very small white wizard. "Turn to page 11, he whispered. "Read out the spell. I'm too weak." Backtofront found the page quickly. "Think of a number that's easy to figure. Wish on a star to make me bigger." The White Wizard began to grow. He grew and grew, and soon he was bigger and more powerful than the Red Wizard.
"Hullababa Manuadina!"
There was a flash of lightning. Both wizards disappeared, and all the dolls were changed back to the way they were.
"Oh, well,"
said Backtofront, feeling his head. "It was nice while it lasted." "Bring him back," said Claud. "I want to go to France." "And I wanted to talk without stuttering," stuttered Hi-Fi.
"I only want to be happy,"
said Sad Sack. Backtofront had heard enough. He put the book of spells back into the chest and walked off with it without a word. "What's he up to?" said Princess. Making sure that nobody followed him, Backtofront found a secret place and buried the chest forever.
That's the end of that, he thought. We've all had quite enough magic for one day.
It's not much of a life when you're just a pretty face. Just to be whoever you are is no disgrace. Look around and you will find people of every kind, like the Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
dolls like you and me. Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
made him perfectly. So if you're not at ease with your knobbly knees and your fingers are all fuzzed, stand on your two left feet and join